You know those super popular collectible toys? The ones everyone's trying to get their hands on? Well, what happens when one of them turns out to be not so innocent? Today, we're diving into the legend of the cursed Labubu doll, a story that kicks off with a simple purchase and spirals into pure horror. I mean, seriously, think about that. Can a toy actually take your life? It sounds like something straight out of a horror movie, right? But for one woman in Shanghai, this question allegedly became her terrifying reality. And this is the story that has collectors everywhere looking over their shoulders. So let's head over to Shanghai. Our story starts with a woman named Mei Lin, and by all accounts, she was just a really sweet person, working in a toy shop to send money back home to her family. And she didn't just sell toys, she absolutely loved them. And that's what's so creepy about all this, how normal it all begins. See, Malin wasn't just an employee, she was a huge collector herself. Her apartment was filled with all these cool, unique dolls. Her only real companion in the big city was her dog Bao. So, one day, a brand new shipment arrives at her shop, and inside is a limited edition golden Labubu doll. She just had to have one for herself. And you can totally see why. This doll was special, really different from the others in her collection. It had this beautiful golden color, these striking blue eyes, long ears, and this huge toothy grin that Malin thought was just the cutest thing she had ever seen. She was so excited to take it home and make it the centerpiece of her whole collection. Yeah, that joy, it didn't last long. Almost immediately after she brought that doll home, Malin's happy little life just started to unravel. Strange, unsettling things began to happen, and the very first warning sign came from her most loyal friend. Okay, so normally, whenever Malin brought a new doll home, her dog Bao would get all excited, wagging his tail. But this time was different. The second he saw that golden Labubu, he just lost it. He started barking aggressively and growling, and it wasn't an angry growl. It looked like pure, genuine fear. Malin just kind of brushed it off, put the doll up on a shelf, and went to bed. After that, things escalated, and they escalated fast. The very next day, Malin, who was known for being kind and patient, had a sudden, furious outburst at a customer. It was so bizarre and out of character that her boss fired her on the spot. That night, she had an absolutely horrific nightmare. And when she woke up, the doll was no longer on its shelf. In her dream, this grotesque creature just appears in her room. It was red, its body looked like it was decaying, and it had these massive, sharp teeth and even sharper claws. It moved towards her and tried to strangle her, laughing this horrible laugh as it attacked. She wakes up with a scream, her heart pounding out of her chest, only to find the golden Labubu doll sitting right on top of her. The same doll she knew for a fact she had placed on a high shelf before she fell asleep. The line between nightmare and reality had just been completely erased. This was the turning point. This was no longer about strange coincidences or bad dreams. The threat was now physical, it was undeniable, and it was sitting in her bed. Her scream brought her dog Bao running into the room. Seeing the doll on his terrified owner, Bao just lunged. He grabbed the Labubu in his teeth and, in this protective fury, tore it to absolute pieces. I mean, he ripped the stuffing out, leaving just a pile of shredded fabric on the floor. For a moment, you'd think the nightmare was over. But when Malin woke up the next morning, she went into the bathroom and her blood just ran cold. There, sitting perfectly on the shelf, was the golden Labubu doll. It was completely unharmed. But something had changed. Its cute, toothy smile was now twisted into this wide, terrifying, malevolent laugh. And then came the most horrific discovery of all. She noticed the doll's hands and its teeth were stained red. Confused and terrified, she looked down. And there, in the sink below, was the mutilated body of her beloved dog Bao. It was clear he had been viciously torn apart. In a total panic, Malin turned to the internet, and what she found was chilling. She wasn't alone. She found news reports and forum posts from all over the world detailing similar horrifying events. People claimed their Labubu dolls were biting them, that their arrival coincided with job losses, sudden illnesses, and even the deaths of loved ones. Her personal horror story was part of a global legend. Realizing this was no ordinary haunting and that her life was in grave danger, Malin knew she had to do something drastic. I mean, she couldn't just throw the doll away. It had already come back from being ripped to shreds. She had to destroy it for good. So she took the doll outside, doused it in flammable liquid, and set it on fire. She watched until it was nothing but a pile of black ash, and just to be absolutely sure, she collected the ashes, sealed them in a jar, and scattered them into a nearby river. The curse, she must have thought, was finally broken.
But it wasn't. The next morning, after she failed to answer any calls, her friends went to check on her. They found Mylan dead inside her apartment.
And lying right there beside her body was the golden Labubu doll. Perfect, pristine, and completely unharmed, as if it had never been burned at all. Now, the story doesn't just end there. The legend has evolved online, with many theorists claiming the doll isn't just haunted, but is actually a physical vessel for a powerful and ancient evil demon known as Pazuzu, which uses the toy's innocent appearance to enter people's homes. And that's really the power of these stories, isn't it? They transform a simple object into something to be feared. So the question remains, is this all just a frightening urban legend, a campfire story for the digital age, or is there something more sinister hiding behind that cute, toothy smile? What do you think?